Hey everyone, it's me Brian here, or MandRproductions, and today we're going to be taking a look at a little something different on the channel. This is the Rick and Morty McFarlane Toys Evil Rick and Morty set. So it's supposed to be a somewhat Lego compatible brand. It's a different brand. It's not Mega Bloks. It's actually McFarlane Toys. It's not like a particular block brand. It's like a toy company that also makes blocks, if you want to think of it that way. So it is from Adult Swim, so this is a little bit outside the age range of some of you guys on my channel. But for those of you who have seen Rick and Morty is a really funny and good show in my opinion, and I wanted to try these out just because I like the show so much. So we do have Evil Rick and Morty. The box on the back says that it is compatible with other brands. It's kind of a weird little way to say it though. It's in a weird green circle. It also does show off the other Rick and Morty sets you can get. So if you guys do enjoy this video, let me know, and I will probably try and pick up some of these other sets. Particularly, I'm excited for the spaceship and the garage, and I kind of also want the Smith family garage rack so I can get the Meeseeks. But other than that, guys, this is it. It doesn't have much else going on. Just some other like average box art all over it. So anyway, let's go ahead. We're gonna cut into this. It's got a couple tape seals on the top and the bottom. I believe I paid $13 for this at Target in the United States, and you can find these at Target and Walmart as far as I know. I don't know if Toys R Us carries this McFarlane brand or not, so you have to do your own research there, and your Toys R Us might be closing anyway. And of course, I guess I should mention that I will compare them with the real Lego minifigures and everything and see what the differences are. I'm cutting with the wrong side of the knife, which probably isn't helping me get into this. Alright, so we have both seals cut there at the top, and we'll go ahead and pull it open. I think it should be pretty simple. Yep, just gotta pull through, and here we go. We're in. There's the inside of the box. That's pretty tightly packed there. I actually like the way they've done this. Unlike Lego, with there's a lot of like space in there, bloat room or whatever. This is actually pretty tightly packed. So here's our first bag of parts, and just first impressions. The plastic looks like it's kind of cheap plastic. It's not quite up to Lego quality, but that's the point of this video. I wanted to take a look at it, so that's my first impression there. Just looking at bag one. Bag two, you're gonna see the same thing. Kind of a cheaper looking plastic, and it's a little bit harder to tell on camera, but when you see it in person, you can definitely tell if you've had a lot of experience with Lego like I have. This appears to be the instruction manual, and here on the back side it also shows off more sets that you can get. I think this is the same as the collection it shows on the back of this one, but I know there are more sets that aren't shown here, so that you'll have to go look for yourself or look online. And just a general idea of what the instructions look like, kind of similar to Lego here, where they show you all the parts at the end. I like the way this looks, though. It looks like it's going to be a pretty simple thing to work through. The minifigs look a little bit tough to build, quite a few pieces there, but we'll figure it out, I'm sure. And looks like some stickers here throughout the set. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the stuff out of the box here. Here we just have more parts, it looks like, and it looks like we also have part of the Morty figure here. Not all of it. Looks like the torso and the hands are maybe in this bag. It's weird how the bags are folded up. And then we have this bag. This is a pretty thick plastic, by the way. I'm just kind of noting everything as I go. Now the rip seems to be like I'm pulling on this blue tab, and I guess you might have to open it from the bottom to get this out, unless I can pull it, this plastic here. Okay, there we go. So you just have to get in there and pull out the plastic, get the Rick out. So I guess we can take a look at this Rick figure real quick here, and we'll get him out of his plastic. He looks like the head mold. Okay, so the head mold is kind of rubbery. It's not as much plasticky as I had imagined when I saw it, but that's okay. That's it's a little bit weird is the best way to put it. It's definitely not Lego. Like, it's not it's like it's a building toy, but it's not trying to be Lego, which I think is good. Like, they're doing something unique, and it's very obvious. Like, this is kind of a rubbery material. It's a little bit weird, honestly, like compared to Lego, but I like his lab coat. It's kind of cool that it actually goes on the torso. It's made out of rubber again. The blue hair, got the bald spot in the back, pretty nice. And then of course his legs are very posable. They're actually kind of loose feeling, but they do stay in place, if that makes sense. Like, you can move them with very little friction. Same with the arms. The arms seem to just, I don't know, it's weird to me because it's not Lego, so I'm like trying to figure out exactly how it works. And I like his facial expression. They did a good job there, I think. I like the way it looks. So let's go ahead, let's build up some of the set, and I'll give you anything I have to say throughout the building process if I have anything to note. So I just got all the pieces poured out, and I noticed something really cool, and that is that these like 1x6 plates all have a texture on them because they're supposed to be wood, and they're also in like a darker color, so they're like a darker wood than the regular color of the pieces here. And I will note that like there's a little chip missing out of this one, and I'm sure that's going to be similar if you on your set, because that's probably from the like molding process. I don't think that's like a defect, but we'll see. It looks interesting. I'm excited about these pieces. These look really cool. Too bad Lego doesn't make special stuff like this. This is really cool. And then You also have this giant portal piece, which I think if LEGO did a set like this, it would totally be a sticker, so this is a really cool one-off piece. Alright, so we're about halfway through the build here, and I just want to note what I really like about this is that they have these, like, pseudo-printed, like just, you know, like, it's like a ghost print. Like, you can just see, like, they print on half of a 1x2 here, and they also print on, like, these curved pieces to give it, like, it just works so well. It's like, it seems like a cheap way to get, like, a really nice look and not use stickers, so I like what they've done with that. And because I know you're all wondering, this is what the backside of the portal piece looks like. It just has 2 holes for the 2 studs that it's going to connect to. I just noticed that when I was about to put it on, so I figured I'd show you. Alright, so the build is done. I'm pretty happy with it. I just have a few critiques I would like to make, so hopefully someone from McFarlane Toys is watching this and maybe it'll get back to them, but I do have a few things I'd like to say. First off, this was also included in the box, and nowhere in the box or on the instructions does it say anything about what the heck this thing is or where it's supposed to go. I can only make an assumption that maybe if you get like all the sets, it helps create one big thing, but I do not recognize it. I don't know where it's supposed to go. It doesn't go on this set as far as I can tell, so I don't know what it is, but it's there. My first real critique, though, is that you got the Rick minifigure, and he was all built up in the box already, and then building the Morty minifigure was a nightmare. That must have taken me like 4 or 5 minutes. Getting the arms on sucks. It's not very apparent which way the torso is supposed to be facing, so if I pull this over here, I'll get you a better idea. And basically on the instructions, it just shows that the torso has a thing, and then there's like another thing that goes on the torso. You can kind of see that there, what I'm talking about, but it's not like it doesn't tell you that apparently it's supposed to be the other way, like this thing is supposed to be on the other side, but by the time I realized that, like this is flat and this has a slight curve to it, so that's supposed to be the back apparently, and then it's supposed to be switched so that like that's the front, but the arms obviously only go one way, and taking the arms off, I was actually worried I might break them, so I did not want to take the arms off, and it was also a pain to get them on to begin with, which doesn't help, but that's like, I just wish they would include both figures already built, or at least like build the harder parts for you. Like, there's a reason LEGO has the arms and hands attached to the minifigures before you get them, and that's because it's hard to do if you're not a machine. So they obviously can do it because they did it with Rick and they do it with a bunch of their other sets. They just didn't do it with Evil Morty here, so that would be nice. I do like the minifigures though, if you want to call them that, the McFarlane minifigures, McFarlane figs. So Evil Morty looks really cool. He's got his eye patch. He's kind of looking away. He's got some nice eyebrows. His hair is pretty cool. It's like a kind of a rubbery material. It's got a little bit of squish to it, just a slight bit. Like it's not quite a hard plastic like the regular plastic on here. It does have a weird looking torso. The back here is flat, and then the front is slightly curved, and then it also includes like this extra piece that you put on top and it makes it curved. So I don't know what's going on there. The legs are a little gimmicky. They seem to be working just fine now though. The feet are cool. You get kind of like a shoe look to it that you don't really get with LEGO sets, which is another nice thing. So if you're looking for like really accurate figures, then this is something you'd be into. Here's his gun. He's got like a long rifle, so that's looking pretty cool. I'll go ahead and set him back. He stands on this one stud on the tiles, the many tiles here with the wood thing on them. So, and then we have Rick, whose leg falls off if you pull him up. Anyway, that's how the feet go on, if those of you that are wondering. So the feet go on to the 1x1 studs. It looks like those might be glued on down here, these shoes, so I can't tell though. Anyway, he's cool. He's got longer legs than Morty, so he is taller than Morty, which is nice because that's accurate to the show. He's got like a really crazed looking face. His head doesn't really turn much. It seems to be stuck in one position. I don't want to turn it too much because I'm afraid I might break it. His coat is very nice. It's got like a very nice like soft rubber to it that allows it to be flexible and look nice. He's got his belt. His arms can twist, and they're also very, very rubbery. It's like a really weird kind of arm to me. It's such a detachment from what I'm used to, and then his hand comes off. So there are some issues with these figures that I can see here early on, is that like they seem to be a little bit fragile, not too well put together as far as like staying together, unfortunately. And again, I think we looked at this earlier, but he does have his little, I think this is the portal gun that shoots the portal and makes it be created essentially, and looks pretty cool. I like it. That's the Rick and Morty included in the set. You also get this really cool grandfather clock, which is covered in stickers, but the stickers do look really good and really nice, and they work well. They add to it. I like the look of it. It does cover up the imperfections on the bricks. Like a lot of the bricks, like I showed you earlier, do have little things left over from the molding process, and the stickers on this cover it up. I think if I pull this off, yeah. So here you can see what I'm talking about here by those imperfections that it's covering up on some of them. It's got just those little things stuck and left over from the molding process. So hopefully they can do something to kind of improve upon that. You also have a little picture up here on the wall to kind of add a small little bit more detail. Again, like I said while I was building it, I really like what they've done here with this kind of print onto the bricks to get this kind of archway. Really, really like that. And around back, nothing going. So that's the Rick and Morty, Evil Rick and Morty set. It doesn't have a name other than that, I think, but it looks pretty cool. I like the way it works. I think it's cool you get both figures for $13. I think that's a pretty fair price considering how much detail these figures have, especially compared to Lego minifigures. And I did say I would compare these to real Lego minifigures, so you can see Evil Morty next to my sig fig and a Stormtrooper next to Rick. So a pretty cool like comparison there. Like the minifigs for the McFarlane Toys here are so much taller and bulkier and just bigger in general. Like they have giant heads compared to Lego minifigs. So I just wanted to give you an idea of the size comparison there. Maybe you couldn't tell when it was against the like regular bricks that they have, but when you see them next to a real Lego minifigure, you really get an idea of how different they really are. And when you feel them in your hand, you can obviously tell, but it's just really cool to see them side by side. Like Rick is like twice as tall as a Stormtrooper, and of course Morty has a head on my sig fig, so pretty cool to see the difference. You also have this giant portal piece, a lot going on. The plastic obviously is going to be a little bit cheaper quality than Lego. I did have some trouble building this set, honestly. Like I'm so used to Lego's instructions that these kind of threw me off, and the way they do it just I wasn't about that. Like it was a little bit tough for me to actually like go through and do this. Like I was a little confused at some point, so this will give you an idea of what you're working with if you buy one of these McFarlane Toys sets. And I just find it a little bit hard sometimes to like figure out exactly where some of the bricks go, you know what I mean? So like sometimes I would miss them by a couple of studs over, or left or right, or up or down, and like I just couldn't quite figure it out at some point. So they could work a little bit on their instruction manuals. I think those could definitely use some work. Build both figures together in the box, like just have them pre-made. You already did it with one, do it with the other, just please. It makes it, building the figure is obviously the most frustrating part of this whole set, to be honest, and maybe work on fixing like the stuff that gets left over from the molding process like here, so that would be nice as well. Another final thing is that like this doesn't seem to stick well onto a single stud. Like it's very loose on there, so they need to like make it a little bit of a tighter grip for some of these bricks maybe. I'm not quite sure why, but it just doesn't fit as tight as it should. Now we will bring over some real Lego pieces, so let's see if this can go onto like this is a real Lego piece, so there you go. So it's 1x6, and that snapped in very nice. That's a much tighter fit than we had there. And let's see if we just stick it on one here. It still seems to be a little bit of a tighter fit than it was on the actual McFarlane Toys. So the Lego seems to be a little bit thicker, I suppose. Now, as far as Lego being on the other end, I guess Lego is already on the other end. So that works just well. And if we put it on like this, that seems to be a little bit looser, so that seems to come off rather easy. So that's how that works. I like it. I think it does work well together. Preferably you don't mix them though. I think you want to keep them apart, just because it's just a different type of plastic. You don't want to be mixing your Lego with your McFarlane, and that's just my opinion on it. I'm very much a Lego person first, so like this is kind of weird for me to be looking at a toy like this and giving it praise for the good things it does, but I like it. I think I'm gonna get more of these Rick and Morty things in the future, so if you want to see me do that, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Again, $13, not a bad price, about the price you pay for a battle pack in the US, depending on if you get it on rollback or not for Lego Star Wars. So I like it. I think I'm looking forward to them making more of these sets. I'm not too on the up and up about if they're coming out with more new ones, but it would be nice to see them do more with the Rick and Morty stuff. So you guys can find this at Target and Walmart in the US. I don't know about Toys R Us because this is more of an adult-oriented toy. It's recommended for ages 14 and up. So and again, even the building process was tough. Like my 9-year-old cousin would not have been able to get my Rick and Morty together, or at least Morty together. Like there's no way he could have built Morty. So that's just how I feel about it. A little work on the instructions would be nice, and yeah, that's my opinion on this set. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want to see me do more of these, again, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.